so that you can post your pictures and videos flexing your muscles with tan and glammed up makeup and maybe a few medals on the stage.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of the Diary of a Wellness Bodybuilder. I am IFBB Wellness Pro, Sumaya Sarwar, your host. And today I will be sharing some tips on how you can get started on your competitive bodybuilding journey. So before we even start, let's say that if you're considering competitive bodybuilding, you are already into the fitness lifestyle or essentially bodybuilding. What do I mean by that? I would assume that you're already working out and you're already eating like a bodybuilder. Now, assuming that when you get started on competitive bodybuilding, the very first question I would ask you to ask yourself is why? Why do you want to compete? And be very honest and clear with yourself when you answer this question, because this question is what would pull you through the difficulties you face as a competitive bodybuilder. It's not for the weak. You're going to be hungry, you're going to be sore, you may not have enough money to pay for the shows, and you're gonna have to find a way to keep moving forward. So if your why is strong enough, when you hit those roadblocks and you literally feel like physically you cannot continue anymore, that why is going to pull you towards your goal. And keep in mind that your why may change along the way. What I mean by that is, like, when I first started competitive bodybuilding, the reason I was so inspired and motivated into getting my pro card is because I noticed there was a lack of representation of South Asian women on the bodybuilding stage. So I wanted to become first IFBB Wellness Pro from Bangladesh. And that kind of pulled me towards my goal, even when things got really hard. Now, I'm currently prepping for my pro debut. My why has changed, so that is normal, or it may stay the same for you, but you need to know what it is, why you want to do it. The next thing I would say is make a list of what your non-negotiables are. This is going to help you stay true to yourself along the journey and kind of not go with the trends. Certain things you may not feel comfortable doing, even though everybody around you is doing, whether that be taking performance enhancement drugs or being in a certain crowd, whatever it may be. Once you're clear about that, you may not feel as much of a peer pressure as you would if you're not clear about that. And that is also going to help you figure out which federation is right for you. What I mean by that is, like, if you are dead set on staying natty, you may not want to go into certain non-drug tested federations, because once you're on that stage, you don't know the person next to you have taken growth hormones or not, right? So the level field, the play field, what do you call it? The playing field may not be leveled. Your competition may have some advantages that you may not have. So it's good to be clear about that. I started out as a natural athlete and I decided to become enhanced. Now, if you do choose to go that route, be sure, which takes me to the next point, be sure that you pick a coach that knows how to help you. Now, I'm not only talking about somebody who can give you your meal plan and your supplement and your workout routine, cardio, get you shredded. Yes, those are important, but also someone who takes care of the inside of your body. That way you have longevity in this sports. I'm so sick and tired of seeing all these young athletes just dying, because they haven't been monitoring their health markers, or maybe the coach gave them something and didn't stay on top of it, and it's not worth it. Please don't do that to yourself. Pick someone who knows what they're doing. Not only that, it would make your journey more enjoyable, it may even take you less time because that coach is already producing the results that you're looking to achieve. You know, instead of like spending so much money and so many years trying to get that pro card or go to the Olympia stage, if you can afford it, spend a little bit more money on someone who's knowledgeable, who produces athletes that are performing at the top level, and go with that person. So once you have that coach, right? Some people may be like, oh, I don't need a coach, I can do it myself. Yes, you could, but having a coach will help you stay more accountable. And me personally, even though I coach other athletes, I would probably never coach myself because I don't trust myself to actually be hard enough or be soft enough on myself. When I am like super tired and exhausted, if I know that I need to do an hour of more cardio and I'm the one who's programming it for myself, I may not program that, you know, and I'm still putting in, I may be saving some money on coaching because I'm coaching myself, but I'm still having to do X amount of shows, and those things add up, and I may increase the length of time and the number of shows that I have to do to achieve my goal, versus if I already went to a coach who knows exactly what protocol needs to be taken for this specific division and to win this specific type of show or attain this specific kind of muscle development or conditioning and X, Y, and Z, right? So I recommend getting a coach. If you can afford it, save some money and then get a coach. And what you look for in a coach is also going to change along your journey. I'll give you an example. When I first started out, it was very important to me that I have my coach right there with me. So I ended up going to local people. But I was kind of disappointed because a lot of the times these people were not even there with me backstage, or they had other athletes and other engagements, and I ended up feeling so lost and kind of like fucking up and not doing the best that I could. Then I ended up looking for someone who, I was like, I can work with someone who is from a different state. But by that time, I have developed a preference for, if it's a male coach, they have to be in a secure relationship or married, because I have had issues where I didn't feel comfortable with my past male coaches that were single. There was like sexual innuendo or like tension from them that made me feel uncomfortable. So that became one of my other requirements. And then later on, I was like, you know what? I want to go with somebody who is a female or who is more knowledgeable in the medical side. So I went to someone who is a doctor slash coach, slash someone who is achieving the goals I want, who is a competitive athlete in my division, right? But now that I am looking to go into the pro stage and essentially go to Olympia, what I look for in a coach has changed again. Hence, I started working with somebody new last year in October, because I realized if I'm working with someone who is essentially going to compete on the same show and we're going to be backstage at the same time, I know how tough and taxing it is on show day when you are super conditioned and you were like stressed and anxious. And I'm like, do I really want to take the chance and have someone essentially going after the same goal at the same time, out of respect for that person? Because I'm the kind of person, I don't want to bother you if you're focused and you're working on someone, and vice versa. So now I look for someone who is not a competitor, but who is a full-time coach and maybe doing well with athletes from my division and Olympia and things like that. So just reevaluate what you're looking for in a coach with each experience and be flexible, because it's going to change with time. Now, we kind of got into the division. Some people pick which division they want to compete in before they even look for a coach. Other people get a coach and with that coach together decide which division they should compete in. Now, a lot of the times you may want to compete in a division, but you may not have enough size and you may need to grow into it. But maybe you don't want to wait another 2 years and do full-blown bulk before you get on stage. Instead, maybe you want to start at something with less muscular development. For instance, like for females, there is fit model, there's bikini, wellness, figure, women's physique, women's fitness, and women's bodybuilding. I have a few athletes on my team that essentially want to compete in wellness, but they don't have the muscular development yet. So they may start out in fit model or bikini, and that kind of helps us go through the experience of doing like a bulk, doing or body recomposition, and then cutting, and they do get on the stage. But from there, we can kind of tailor their plan and revisit our game plan for the long term. For example, I was a women's figure, right? Or if you do a division and you don't like it, you can always take some time off and change your physique and do something else. For women's figure, I didn't really feel like I belonged there. There are many athletes that are beautiful, that do amazing there, but it just wasn't for me. So I kind of was discouraged and I took some time off. Then when wellness was announced, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want to do this. And so I took some time off to just like change my body shape, because for figure, it's more back, more delts, and a lot more striation and conditioning is different. Versus for wellness, it's more lower body dominant. So I had to take the time off, and now a few years down the road, I'm a wellness pro. So it may be the case for you. Just figure it out and try it. And if you don't like it, do a different division. That's about it. However, that kind of brings us to the last tip or advice that I have for you. Be patient with yourself, okay? Look at your goals in increments. You can't just do your first show and be like, all right, I want to go to Olympia. Let's go to Olympia. There are so many steps that needs to be taken before you get to that point. So be patient with yourself and think of the coach that you're picking, the gym that you're going to, everything as an element that adds to the bigger goal that you have, right? It takes at least like 10,000 hours of dedicated hard work before you become an expert in any specific arena. So remember that when you're rushing for social media clout or whatever it may be, so that you can post your pictures and videos flexing your muscles with tan and glammed up makeup and maybe a few medals on the stage, if it's the reason why you want to do it, there's nothing wrong with that. Go do it. It's a bucket list thing for you. Go do it. But if you're looking to do something long term, right? You want to build a business, leave a legacy, or win your pro card, whatever it may be, the length of time that it takes someone is different. It's going to depend on where you are in your journey right now, how disciplined you are, where your finances, how much time, energy you can dedicate to that, how much support you have, believe it or not, in your family, friends, how's your mental health, all those things play a role. So just keep that in your mind and get to work. So if you found this video and this episode useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share, drop a comment below. I'm also a coach, so if you need help, be sure to head over to my website, www.sumayasarwar.me, and shoot me a DM or email on any of my social media accounts, and I would love to help you. Until next time, take care.